For part 1, which is the wing skeleton, I have just for you, even though nobody's going to find this video, made blueprints and a materials list of everything you need. So you don't have to go through the pain I did figuring this out. Here are your materials. I will also try to take pictures of these and put them in the video if I am able. For your wood, you need a 1/4 inch thick plywood, 7/16 inch by 1 3/8 inch unfinished pine. Those are, where's my finger? There it is, that's for that, okay? Your hardware, I got a lot of hardware. 4 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 bolts with stop nuts and 11 washers. 1 1/4 nut, regular. 1 1 1/4, I'm sorry, 1 1/4 by 2 1/2 inch bolt. 1 1 or 1 1/2 inch pipe strap. We used 1 1/2, but I think a 1 would work, but that was my 3rd time buying pipe strap and I gave up. 3 1/2 inch steel gate locks. You can find those at Lowe's. If you find a better hook, good for you. You can probably find better ones on Amazon. 2 dowels. Those are half inch, I think. Hold on. Two 1/2 inch dowels, depending on your size. 2 1 inch corner brace and 2 3/4 inch brace, angle brace, corner ones, okay? Miscellaneous items. This is for your mechanics and other things. A 6 inch linear actuator on Amazon. The battery we currently have is a 12 volt, I think 1 amp lithium battery pack. We are going to try, because sometimes it struggles to get going, a 12 volt 6 amp lithium battery pack. I discovered that the linear actuator draws 4 amps. So you want something that's at least 4. Anyway, 3/4 inch by 3 foot by 1/16 inch aluminum. That's for the braces here, okay? Miscellaneous fabric. It doesn't matter what kind. Get you something decently, like a regular material, okay? And cushion. Should be able to find those at like some kind of craft store, probably even Walmart. Tools you will need for this project so far. A miter saw or skills with a jigsaw. I don't have those. A jigsaw. You're still going to need a jigsaw. Or maybe you just have the right stuff for a miter saw. I don't know. This is what I used. Miter saw, jigsaw, a drill, non-negotiable. Metal jigsaw blade. Need a blade for your jigsaw. A 9/64 inch twist drill bit. 9/64 inch twist drill bit. Drilling holes. A 1/4 inch twist drill bit for drilling holes. Glue and a staple gun. The glue I used so far in this project is E6000 and a little bit, actually a decent amount of wood glue. Okay, so you might want to get both. Part 1, your connection rods. These are going underneath our costume, so they are invisible, but this is what allows the wings to easily come on and off so you can go to the bathroom. Any questions? Okay. Step 2 is the part of the wings that connects to that. This. My illustrations are somewhat to size, but are not perfect. Questions? Good. The back part of that is this. This is our linear actuator. You will see there is not a lot on this. It is mostly there to hold some pieces together. This is where shit gets complicated. This is the wings, okay? You will see what I just showed you is right here. That connects here, not here. Here, with a bolt. This part right here is permanently connected. That's what we used glue and staples for. This part is not. This is a joint. All of these are joints. Questions? Good. All of these joints, you are using your smaller bolt. I don't remember the size. The only place you use that big bolt is right here because you are layering wood, actuator, and wood. Okay? You do need to watch parts of my videos so you can see the correct way of layering this, because I am afraid if you layer it wrong, your shit ain't gonna work, okay? Does that mean that I strategically did that? No, it's just how it worked, okay? That's how this entire thing worked. Each of these, though, okay, need to be layered correctly. Basically, your two connecting points down here go in the back, okay? They're the backmost part of your wing skeleton, okay? The piece with your actuator goes on top of this piece. The other thing that goes on top of this piece that connects to it are your 4-footers, okay? This part of your wings. This part, that's not tight. This joints, okay, go over when I'm looking at it, over your 4-footers. My left one, I don't know if this part matters. My left one goes behind my actuator. My actuator goes in the center. And my right one goes over. Okay. You need your bolt, your 2.5-inch bolt, to be sticking this way. If it sticks this way, when the actuator retracts and your wings go up, it is going to hit this back piece. The only way to avoid that is to put it facing this way. If you have an angle grinder, good for you. You can grind this off. I don't have one, so we're going to deal with it, okay? If this piece, this is what ended up screwing us before, if this piece is on the other side of our connecting pieces back here, no matter which way you face this bolt, it's going to hit. The only way to avoid that is to go here. We thought we needed spacers. We do not need spacers. Spacers didn't do anything. The thing that fixed it was moving this piece in front of that piece. Any questions? Good. We're ready to move on to skin. Yay! Hey y'all. It is going on 11 o'clock at night, and I had the spontaneous idea to start working on my wings. So, for those of you who don't know, which most of y'all don't, I attend the Renaissance Fair, and every year I've made my own costume. Well, last year I went as a dark fairy, and I decided that that was going to be my costume from now on. Well, as a part of my dark fairy costume, I made 4-foot wings. It's like a 4x2, so my wings went like, woo! It's really cool, and I got a lot of attention out of it, and I really liked it. So I decided to go even bigger and better this year, which means I'm making expandable 4-foot wings. I haven't found anybody on YouTube who has done this, so I'm kind of going in blind. I've never done anything like this before, but we're gonna try it. This is my prototype. My prototype is a little janky. Using my prototype, so these are gonna be 2.5 feet. These are 4 feet, which is the actual expandable part of our wings. These are 2 feet. These are going to connect here. Already measured out. And speed squared my perfectly straight lines for my 4 feet, my 2.5 feet, and my 2 footers. We're gonna cut these straight lines, we're gonna drill the holes, and we're gonna see what happens. See how this turns out on a much bigger portion. If it works, then we're gonna go in to buy our linear actuator, is what they're called. You can get them off of Amazon, they're not that expensive. Okay, now we have all our pieces. Here's where the hard part comes in. Strategically placing holes so that you don't fuck it up. I'll need the drill for this. I need one of these. Most of you probably have it. I didn't because I've never needed to drill a hole in anything before. But the guy at Lowe's said that this is what I need to drill a hole in this. And then I just got the right size, which is 1/4. He's so pretty. That's probably why it cost so much. Here's the theory. We're gonna take these. We're gonna drill holes in them. We're gonna put the bolts through them with washers, okay, so they have room to move. And we're gonna put holes through both of them. That way, whenever the wings are on and the actuator's moving, these things go, woo! Almost 1.5 inches, which means it's gonna be like right about like here-ish is where we're gonna, no, that's not right. We're gonna eyeball this. Perfect. Right about like there. Holes. Oh, Lord help me. I've never done this before. But we should be able to just just like that. I mean, she fits, but she's a little tight. This is way too easy. This is like dangerously easy. All right, Dan. That's the 4 footers. 4 footers are done. 2.5ers. 1 inch too. We're gonna do everybody at 1 inch and see what happens. Right there. Owie! You see that? Like this. 2.5ers. Our 2 footers only get 1 hole, and then they should be cut at like, I think a 45. I don't know. I put the miter saw down because I was scared to do that. I wanted to try this first. We build confidence as we go here. These are 1/4 by 1 1/4. The thing is these have to be precisely put this way, otherwise it doesn't work. Don't ask me why. I don't know. All I know is it doesn't. So the 4 actually has 2 joints. This is why prototypes are important. Also, because I spent hours on that to try to figure out how that's going to work. We're going to do 1 at 1 inch and 1 at 2 inch. 2.5. 2.5 goes on the bottom part of the 4-incher. that hole is right there, right here. You see how this covers that up? That piece of wood's not gonna fit there. And the way I'm gonna do this one is the top facing the same way as this. For now, we'll see if that changes. That's the lowest that this one will go. The question is that going to be a problem? 2.5 comes out here. That is going to be a problem. Exact same thing all over again, and then we're going to come back as a big family and join these together and pray. Hello there! It is day 2. Yesterday we got this to work, but the problem is it's pretty hard to push up. So here's what we're going to do. The theory is if we move these pieces further down here like this and re-ankle them, that it won't take as much force to push it up. The force needs to be just a little bit lighter because it's quite a bit to get it to really lift. So we are going to undo these, drill new holes, and see if that fixes our problem. Let's see what happens if we scoot her, because we don't want the angle to be off too much, to like here. I'm just gonna eyeball this one and see what happens. They're not gonna lift evenly. What's the tightest? Oh, she goes super tight, super tight. If we hold here, wow. That is a million times easier. That one's 3 inches down. The 4-footer, like 7. Oh, that's just because that bolt's loose. Okay, let's see how much easier these are now. So much better. We're gonna have to fix our cuts, and I also seriously need to do something about that. This whole thing that we've got, this whole like double thing that we got going on here. It's not gonna work. So I gotta figure out how to cut that. These pieces, right, were originally 2.5 feet. So with our new cut, if you guys are trying to figure out how to do this yourself, using this as a tutorial, take 2.5 feet, subtract 2.5 inches, and that's the size of your cut. Theoretically. I know I'm gonna have to take these bolts out again, but for now, just because I like testing every step of the way whenever I don't know what I'm doing, we're gonna put these back together and see what we're working with. Now, and, ow, that hurt. Hold and so much less resistance. I seriously don't know how to cut these correctly. Figured out how to use the speed square. I'm not gonna explain it, but Another problem for tomorrow. Hello friends, we're back. I finally got this part good and it's straight and even with this. Here's the problem we ran into. Remember, we have to put a linear actuator, which is the thing that goes doo doo doo. We're gonna put that on here. With where this is sitting right now, that's gonna hit my butt. It's gonna sit like right here. If we can move this joint up here, like bring these together, move the joint up here, that way the actuator will sit closer. I'm gonna move this to one of the old holes right here and see what that does. So I'm gonna see. If we put it here, okay, which is where it was, then it has to push up a full 10 inches in order to get the wings to go out. If we do it up here, okay, it doesn't take but a couple inches to fully extend, but it's really hard to get it to do so. So I wonder if we put it in the middle, what that will do. So I think we're gonna try that. They're really close together. But it doesn't move very much. Oh, it's 7 inches now. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to find a 7-inch actuator, but that means it'll come right to the small of my back. I'm gonna go grab my laptop and we're gonna see if we can find a 7 or 8. Really, we wanna try for a 7-inch actuator. So I'll be back. Okie doke. We're gonna run through this part together. So Amazon. "10 millimeters per second, I think is the one you're gonna wanna go for. That's a 12-inch. So the things you're looking for in your linear actuator is their how much they can hold, right? A lot of these are gonna be like 200 plus, 150 plus pounds. Our wings, at least the ones I'm making, are not gonna be 150 because my back can't handle that. I have a bad back. So we're not too terribly worried about the weight that it can hold or push. The next thing that you're looking for is some kind of like battery operated type of thing, right? Because we're not gonna be hooked up to electricity. The next thing you're looking for is the stroke size, right? That's what I was measuring earlier. So we need a 7 or as close to a 7 as we can get in terms of its stroke size. And then the speed, okay? The speed is obviously how fast they're gonna open and close. You don't want your wings to go because it's not gonna be great, okay? So really what we're looking for is like a nice middle ground of like a, that way they'll go, okay, without you dying. Remember as well, okay, the reason we're measuring from there to here is because the part that extends also has, you know, its own thing. So if you go with a 4-inch, then you can reasonably assume the total actuator size is probably going to be like 5 inches, okay, if you have a 4-inch extent. So we're probably going to work with like an 8-inch. A lot of these are 6-inch. Also, these aren't crazy expensive, okay? A lot of what you're looking at is in the $50 range. You don't need to buy a $350 actuator. Let me kind of show you guys what we're looking at. Just so you guys know what you're looking for. You're looking for thingies like this, okay?
according to a guy I found on YouTube, this is what you're looking for. So it's just a matter of finding the right one.
Let's see what a 6 inch is gonna do. Remember, once we get our actuators, a lot of these things are gonna be edited, okay? We're working as we go. Let me go to 6 inches. 6 inches is right there. All right, y'all, I think I figured it out. So this is and I'll show you guys, but the linear actuator we're gonna go with for now, hopefully we don't need to send it back, is RV Marine Pat 12 volt linear actuator, high speed, 14 millimeters per second, yada, yada, yada.
This is the one we're gonna go with. You'll see it has a switch right there. Mounting bracket.
We do have to get a battery pack. Based on my research, we're gonna go with a 12 volt battery pack, lithium, like yay big. It's rechargeable and it has 1200 milliamp hours.
Use this one right here. So this over here is the charger. Here's the rest of your stuff. This, instead of having it push, we can always bracket it and have it pull instead. So we can actually put it up here with this, because this isn't supposed to move anyway. Put it up here with this. That way it can pull upward, which means I'm not going to cut this yet because we may end up putting that back. So that comes down here. We can put the thing here and pull up. That way it's not sitting so low back here.
Because the next thing that we really need to do is get the back piece done so that everything has a thing to connect to. Our original plan isn't gonna work. The original plan was to have a strap here and straps here with 2 bars that this connects to, so this would actually come down, that connects to hook, and that was going to be the extent of it. We can't do that because we have the actuator, the battery pack, all that kind of stuff. So what a lot of things were saying was to make a whole back piece. With that said, I can't do this, right? Because then I'm going to be like awkwardly the entire time. So I'm thinking what we're gonna do is have a piece that kind of comes around here in a sense, because this can't be connected to anything anyway. We can mount this and then we can mount the actuator. We can put the battery pack somewhere and have this pull up. The other thing we can always do as well is get bigger bolts and add another piece up here in between these things, so that way this piece is actually scooted out more so it doesn't hit anything. For extended length, okay? Here to here is our retracted length, which means we're gonna bracket it here to our plate. When it is retracted, oh fuck, that's not gonna work, is it?